Hey everybody, so I want to do a quick video on my 10-week doctor's appointment that I had today. According to me, I'm 10 weeks and 2 days today, and according to my doctor, 9 weeks and 6 days. But I went in today at 10:20 in the morning. We had to go to a different city, just about 15-minute drive, not very far, and saw a different doctor again today. My regular doctor is like the head of the gynecology department, and he's always busy, and he only sees patients like once a week. I'm not even sure how many days he's in the office, but it seems like he's never available. So this time we saw a different doctor. There's a lady doctor. She was actually also a midwife, which is nice. She was very nice lady. We get in there. Actually, we get to the, let me back up a little bit. We get to the appointment, we check in, and I already know I'm getting so nervous. I've been nervous since the day before, but what in the heck is going on out there? Anyways, I've been nervous since the day before, and you know, every time I go to the doctor, seems like my pulse is just racing, and you know, I know that I'm gonna get, you know, my blood pressure is probably going to be higher than it should be, and my pulse rate is going to be higher than it should be, which, you know, whatever. My pulse is already higher just due to the pregnancy, but what in the... Sorry, it's really windy in my backyard and stuff's like blowing all over the place. Anyway, so we get in there and the nurse calls me back and we go into the room, and first of all, there's no ultrasound machine in the room, which I was very confused by. But anyway, so she sits me down and does my blood pressure and everything, which my blood pressure was a little bit high, as it always is. It was 148/81. And that seems to be normal for me, but that's because I just, no matter what, I always am nervous going to the doctor. I have no idea why. I cannot control it, and I think my pulse was like 114 beats per minute or something like that, and that was also pretty high. But she didn't seem to say anything about it, and when I saw the doctor, she didn't say much about it. But anyways, so we weren't in a room with an ultrasound machine, and when the nurse left and then I was talking to Tim about it, I was like, I thought we were getting an ultrasound today, and you know, whatever, so I guess we'll find out what's going on. But the nurse had to come back in to grab something, so I ended up asking her, and she said that normally after your official prenatal appointment, around 8 or 9 weeks, it gets kind of boring after that, and they just pretty much measure you and try and listen to the heartbeat, and that's about it. And I was like, well, that's strange, because my last appointment, they said I was supposed to be getting another ultrasound. So when the doctor came in, we sat down and we were talking, and because she was a new doctor, she hasn't seen me before, she had to go over all my history on medications I'm taking and all that stuff. So that took about 10 to 15 minutes, and we were just kind of chit-chatting about everything. And she said because I'm only 9 weeks and 6 days according to their thing, she wasn't going to try and use the Doppler to find the heartbeat, because that early you may or may not find it, and she didn't want to have to search for it and, you know, chance freaking me out or anything like that. So she said, you know, this time we'll go ahead and do an ultrasound, and lucky for me, there was nobody in the ultrasound room, you know, using it at the time. And so she's like, well, let's just walk on over there and we'll do a little quick peek. So I was really excited about that, because in the beginning we weren't even going to get one of those. So, or at least that's not what it sounded like to me. But because, you know, I am so early still, she ended up doing it. But so we walk over to the ultrasound room and we walk in there, and this hospital, let me tell you, is like 5 years old. It's pretty new, and so you'd think they would have really new equipment. So when we get in the room, the ultrasound machine is like 20 years old. It's crazy. And so she sits me on the table, lays me back, and literally I think we're in the room for 5 minutes total. She tucks my pants down, puts the jelly on my stomach, and first of all, being this early, I wasn't sure if they were going to do an external ultrasound or an internal one, doing it vaginally, and my bladder wasn't full, which that early on, I've heard that you really should have a full bladder when they do the external ultrasound. They can see things better that way. So my bladder wasn't full. I had just peed for them and peed in a cup and all that stuff. So, yeah, I was like, I don't know if she's going to be able to see very well or see very clearly. And then, you know, on top of the machine being really old. So, excuse me. She, you know, we did end up seeing the baby, and she saw a heartbeat, but she literally was only looking for maybe a minute and a half total. she put it on there. She got, you know, where she could see the heartbeat, and she pointed it out, and Tim was recording it, but my camera, I charged the battery, but I didn't look to see how much memory we had left, and he got about 20 seconds of video, if that, and it told him the memory was full. So I can add that, I'll add that to the end of the video, what we did see. And, you know, when she said she saw the heartbeat, and that was about it. I was laying back, so I couldn't really see much, and the angle of the screen, she kind of was facing it toward herself and Tim a little bit more than me. So I couldn't see the heartbeat, but Tim and the doctor said it was there, and it was such an old machine, she couldn't even let us hear it or anything. So that was kind of poopy. But she said everything looked great, and but the picture she gave us was crappy as well. I have a tilted uterus on top of everything else, so I think that if she would have done a vaginal ultrasound, she would have seen a lot more, but she didn't take the time to do it because I don't think the ultrasound was planned at all. But yeah, she said the heartbeat looked great, and she said now I should be able to just stop stressing about everything and just relax and enjoy the pregnancy. And that was really great news to hear. So, I mean, according to her, everything looked really, really good. The measurement she gave me on the screen was way off because, again, I didn't have a full bladder and I have a tilted uterus, and it just was all wrong. But as long as we saw the heartbeat, that's all that matters to me. She scheduled me to go back in a month, and we scheduled to see my regular doctor this time because we're doing it a whole month in advance. We got to actually request him, and hopefully it doesn't get changed or moved to somebody else because he ends up getting busy or has to do a delivery or something like that. But yeah, that was pretty much my doctor's appointment. Not I mean, not too interesting. I was hoping that we were gonna, you know, see more on an ultrasound and get to see not only the heartbeat, but, you know, movement or something like that. And yeah, I'll attach the picture and the video to the end of this so you guys can see it. But yeah, that's it for my 10-week ultrasound. I'll do my 10-week review in just a few days. You know, nothing really to report on now except for this ultrasound, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. So anywho, I'm going to go drink my lemonade, and I have to cook dinner here in a little bit. So talk to you guys soon. Bye.
So here's the heartbeat. Now you have to have your head down. You have to have your head down, or it's not going to come up. So see that flicker right there? Mm-hmm. That's the heartbeat. Yay! Can you guys get that on that?
Can you zoom in and get that, Dave?
I am.
There it is.